Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Karen here with another update in my life on my spiritual awakening, this healing journey that has brought me a lot of big surprises. And at one point, I was considering journalism for a career. And one of the things I learned at that time was never bury the lead. So I'll give you the lead right off. With 63, I am coming out as gay and also coming out as I don't even know what to call myself spiritually. Um, I know I'm not a Christian. I am putting that label behind me. I am, I don't know if you want to call it a witch, magical, a wizard, pagan. Why use labels? All I know is I am 100% spirit led, and I'm I'm done with the status quo. My new slogan is status no. I am putting the status quo behind me. Um, all because I have learned so many things over these last 8 months that I have been waking up, so to speak, this healing journey. And I've learned a lot of really surprising things about myself, about the world, things that have shocked me. And finally admitting to myself that I was gay because spirit wouldn't let me go any further. I couldn't take one further step in my spiritual journey until I admitted that truth to myself. And it really made me reflect on how toxic religion can be for denouncing homosexuality as something to be ashamed of. And yet here's God pressuring me to admit it to myself. You have to be truthful in your life, but especially with yourself. So leaving behind toxic beliefs, toxic people, toxic systems is the only way I can move forward. And I am, I don't know what my future is going to look like exactly. All I know is that I am committed to speaking my truth. I'm not here to convince anyone of anything. All I know is that true miracles have played out in my life over the last 8 months. Once I committed to facing myself, to facing the light and the dark within me. And I think that's another piece of it, right? It's I said I'm no longer Christian, but I'm talking about the status quo with everything, even in spiritual circles, in the spirituality circles, in witchcraft, in paganism, in um, there's all this emphasis on the light, the light, the light, the light. It's not all light. We are not all light. And when you cannot have the light without having darkness, and looking at the true shadows within ourselves to be able to see who we really are. And by embracing the darkness you find within you is the only way that that darkness will calm down, so to speak. You can't excise it from your life. No one is able to excise the darkness from their lives. We each have those shadows within us that need to be faced. And it's when you can face them and alchemize them, love them, that they don't take over your life. So the the example that's coming up for me right now is, within Catholicism, with the priests um, abusing children, mainly boys, but girls too. And now I guess there's a lot of it within non-denominational Christianity too, all these mega churches. Same thing, right? So it's not just Catholicism, it's not just Christianity, it's people, because people have darkness within them. And if you cry and deny it and don't deal with it, that's when it gets harmful. The darkness in and of itself doesn't have to be harmful. Usually it is based in shame, okay, so let's go back to how in the hell did I get to be 63 years old and am just now being able to admit to myself that I'm gay? I was raised in a very strict household religiously. Um, God forbid, so to speak, that I do anything that denied Holy Mother, the Church, a very Catholic upbringing. My father went to Mass every day, and my mother she didn't go every day, but she had her own demons, so to speak, with being very worried about what others would think and putting hiding secrets and never, ever, ever do anything to bring shame to the family. And so, even though I thought that I was actually the black sheep, and I was the black sheep of the family, I was the rebel of the family, but I was also shamed for it very heavily. I was judged for it heavily. Um, in college, when I moved in with my boyfriend, I got a 4-page letter from home when they found out, just denouncing me and shaming me, et cetera, et cetera. Um, and so while throughout my life, honestly, the majority of my friends have been gay. I had a lot of gay friends and would go to the gay bars with them. And I always supported my gay friends and staunch supporter of the underdog all my life, but I could not admit to myself, because of all this, the trauma of the upbringing, I couldn't admit it to myself. So I went through 2 marriages that obviously did not work out. Um, the last one ended so badly 25 years ago that I just stopped. I never even dated after that marriage. So I have been alone for 25 years rather than admit to myself what I really wanted, because there is such deep shame around bringing shame on the family. One term that came up through this healing process just sort of popped in my head one day that really nailed the family dynamic, and it was forced reverence for propriety. So it wasn't even so much homosexuality in and of itself, it was anything that was not the epitome of propriety. Um, even my sister got married to someone from India back in 1971. And so she had to deal with my parents' prejudices at that time. And they eventually came around and came to love Kesh. But it was almost too like he was, you know, he was special because he was Kesh. He got their approval. My dad kept his racism throughout his life, and it really came out in his final days when he was under anesthesia. Some of the things he said were shocking to me. Um, And so I'm just done with it. I'm done with the forced reverence for for um, propriety that comes from religion, that comes from corporate life, that comes from culture, that comes from I'm going to be my own damn self, come what may. And I know that I'm being blessed for it. And that's the beauty of it. The spirituality that I have been able to find after I let go of any religious doctrine, any dogma, any forced reverence that God does not demand of us. This is a classroom here on earth. It is not a courtroom. He is not judging us. And I say he. You slip back into old, and you know what? Spirit, source, the creator of all, does not care what we call them. Truly, it makes no difference. They want us to love ourselves. They want us to accept ourselves. They want the lies to go away. One really interesting thing, and I won't make this a super long video, but I was writing a fantasy series for many years, and but it was all about the three books. The theme running through them was truth and lies, and the first book was going to be about the lies that we tell ourselves. The second book was going to be about the lies we are told. And the third book was about and the damage done. I am done telling lies to myself, and I will not accept the lies that I've been told all my life. I can think for myself, thank you very much. And I think that with all of the problems in the world, we have to start with ourselves first, to love ourselves unconditionally, to love each other unconditionally. Loving someone unconditionally does not mean that you accept their bullshit. You stand up for yourself and you stand up for the truth. And at long last, after 63 years of standing up for everybody else, I'm standing up for myself and claiming my truth. And yeah, so that's it. If you watch my other videos, you know that I have been pulling a tarot card or an oracle card at the end of every video. And I didn't do that today. But what I thought I might do is read you a poem that I wrote. That is basically, it's an affirmation that I say to myself every day looking in the mirror, because part of the healing that I've been going through, and if you haven't seen my other videos over the last whatever year or whatever, I found out I was autistic. I had ADHD. I went through this spiritual awakening. I left a narcissistic relationship, the whole nine yards. Um, so my confidence has taken a big hit. Actually, it took a hit all my life, but now I am stepping into my power and my strength, and I am a motherfucking powerful person, let me tell you. But part of it is reminding myself of that. So I will share a poem with you, an affirmation meditation, if you will, with you, and feel free to use it for yourself. It's called My Spiritual Wardrobe. So I say this to myself, it's part of my getting dressed in the morning. Each new morning I choose to don the garments that do create my swan. So regal, bold, and self-possessed, swan represents my very best. The queen who wears a crown of light, I'm kind and good and filled with might. My strength assured by inner peace, I trust in spirit without cease. My warrior's armor is quite fierce, so that no one's hatred can ever pierce. I know defense is always wise. Protection thwarts those in disguise. I guard my heart in boundaries, my talisman forged in God's foundries. For all its armor, my heart soars, light and free and open once more. My magic is a deep blue cloak to garb a priestess just awoke. It covers me in mystery. Let people guess at my history. I'm confident and unafraid. I look fly and cannot be swayed. My head held high and shoulders back. I wear it all, self-love intact. Authentic and full of delight, I exercise sartorial right. My swan adorned majestically, I glide with joy and levity. What good the rest if I'm weighed down by stress or fear and wear a frown? So last I don a happy smile, at peace and strong through every mile. So mote it be. Thanks, everybody. Take care.